Good morning, students. How are you? I hope all of you are fit and fine. In our previous class, we have seen the poem "The Voice of the Rain," which was written by Walt Whitman, and we have seen that the poet wants to present a very beautiful picture of rain, and we have seen that how beautifully he had presented the rain. When the question was asked by the poet, "Who are you?" then the rain says that I am the soft falling of the shower, and I am the poem of the earth. Means I am the imagination, I am the soul of the earth, and I am eternal, unless from the top from the heaven to the bottomless sea. I am eternal. No one can find the source, and upward to heaven, where the combining of different clouds, and at the end they forms the one. Now let's start. I descend to lave the drought. Lave the drought means to wash the drought. Lave means to wash. I descend to wash the droughts. Means whenever I come on this earth, I wash means I satisfy the earth. I wash the dryness of the earth. I remove the bareness of the earth. Atomies, dust layers of the globe. And whenever I come on this earth, I wash, I satisfy the earth, I wash the droughts. Atomies means small tiny particles. In our physics, in our chemistry, we see that they are the atoms, molecules. We say that small particles are known as atoms. Suppose we are writing the chalk, then when we are writing, then the small tiny particles started flowing here and there. It started moving here and there. That are known as the small atoms. It is said that whenever I came on this earth, I washed the dryness of the earth, and I washed the atoms, dust layers which are present on this earth, and all that in them without me were seeds only. And all that means everything is waiting for me only. Now Rain is saying that, and all that in them without me were seeds only. Latent, unbound. Latent means hidden. Okay. Now here the Rain says that, and all that in them without me were seeds, and without me, without my presence on this earth, the seeds were hidden, unbound. Latent, unbound means the seeds which the farmers plow in their fields, they are hidden, unbound means they had not started germinating. Now here poet has very beautifully, or we can say that very naturally he had represented the rain. By reading the verse, it seems that everything has been picturized in front of our eyes. Means we are seeing all these things in a natural form. That yes, we are seeing the rain shower, we are seeing the heaven, we are seeing the earth drought, we are seeing the atoms. Means whatever words are used, it seems that they are very much natural, that we are seeing all this poem. By reading the poems, we will notice that it seems us that everything is going in front of our eyes, and we are seeing this poem, how this poem had been written. Now he says that, and all in them without me, the seeds which are hidden inside the earth, without my presence, without my help, the seeds also which are hidden, which are latent, not germinated from the fields, they are waiting for me, and the moment when I will come on this earth, they will start germinating. And forever, by day and night, I give back life to my own origin. And forever means whenever I come from the heaven, from the sky to the bottom of the sea, day and night. There is no any foundation that I will come only day or night. All over time, 24 hours functioning is going on, and all that and forever the day and night. I give back life to my own origin, and I myself only came from the earth, came from the heaven to the earth, and by my own process. Means suppose when there is a evaporation, when the suns come on the water, then the water get evaporated. This says that I give back life to my own origin, and I came on this earth and I give back life. And the moment I came on this earth, and then I give back, and by my own self I am giving back my own life from where we have started our origin, and make pure and beautified, and make pure and beautified. And we are making, because when we collect water from the earth, in that water some impurity might be there. It be because on the earth there are many types of molecules, dust, particles. It might be impure, it might be, not sure. But when there is a evaporation of the water from the earth, that water get purified. The same thing is said by the poet. And make pure and beautified means I came on this earth and I am doing my work day and night, and I give back my life to my own origin. Means I am evaporating the water, and that water become pure and make pure and beautify and makes it beautiful, For song issuing from his birthplace after fulfillment wandering. For song issuing from his birthplace, means song which had been started from his birthplace after fulfillment wandering, reckoned or unreckoned. Reckoned means whether cared or do not or not cared. Means whether cared for or not cared for. Reckoned means taking care, or unreckoned means not taking care. Whether reckoned or unreckoned, duly with love returns. And whether you will notice me or not, but I return with a love return. Means I came on this earth, I was the dryness, I was the dust particles. I had given my best effort. I had given moisture to the earth so that the latent hidden seeds can germinate. And my work and my functioning is totally day and night, and forever by day and night. I give back my life. Means the water which comes on the earth, by means of the evaporation, means by his own effort, rain goes back towards the heaven, and from there again comes back. Whether you give your care toward that process or not, but there is always a loving process. Means rain want to say that I am busy in my own work. I come on this earth and again I am going back. Whether you take care of me or not, whether you give me your attention or not, it doesn't matter me. But I return with a love return. Means my return is full of love and happiness. You will see that author had used those particular words, and those particular words seems that they are very much natural. Okay, that's why Walt Whitman is known for his poetry. In the precise poem only, he feels the maximum things. Okay, now after this, the voice of the rain, we will start our new chapter. Okay, and the name of the new chapter is the Ailing Planet. What is the name of the new chapter? The Ailing Planet. What this word ailing means? Ailing means weak, unwell, sick, not in a happy condition. Okay. Students, we were discussing about the ailing planet. The ailing planet, the green movement's role, written by Nani Palkhiwala. Okay. This is an excerpt. Okay. Actually, this is written by Nani Palkhiwala. In this, he says that our planet is ailing, means unwell. That our planet is ailing, means our planet is unwell. In this, Nani Palkhiwala very beautifully presented the unwell planet. Okay, actually this is an article written by Nani Palkhiwala. Here it is written that the following article was written by Nani Palkhiwala. Okay, the following article was written by Nani Palkhiwala and published in the Indian Express. Published in the Indian Express. Published in the Indian Express on 24th November 1994. Okay. In this article, Nani Palkhiwala had presented the ailing planet, and in this he says that how our planet will be changed into a green environment, or how this unwell planet, ailing planet, will become a well planet. Okay, and this article was published in the Indian Express in the year 1994, on 24th November 1994. Okay. The issues that he raised regarding the declining health of the earth continues to have relevance. Okay. What he has said about the degradation, about the downfalling of the earth, had got the relevance, had got the reality. One cannot recall any movement in world history which has gripped the imagination of the entire human race so completely and so rapidly as the green movements which started nearly 25 years ago. This is a word written, grip. Grip means to hold tightly. Okay. If you know the word's meaning, then the whole sentence meaning can be understood very easily. Okay. One cannot recall any moment. Means one cannot recall any moment and say that moment saved our planet. Now here the author says that one cannot recall one moment in our history which has gripped, which had firmly have the imagination of the human race so completely as the Green Movement. In 1972, the world's first nationwide Green Party was founded in New Zealand. Okay. In 1972, the world's first nationwide Green Party was founded in New Zealand. Okay. Since then, the movement has not looked back. Means after the Green Movement, which was started in 1972 in New Zealand, after that, India had not turned back. Okay, India was moving in this direction only. We have shifted one hopes. We have changed one hope irrevocably. Irrevocably means final. Revocable means which is not final. and irrevocably means which is final. Okay, we have shifted one hopes. We have shifted one hopes irrevocably means which is final, which is final from the mechanistic view means from the machine view to a holistic means entire overall. Okay, mechanistic view to a holistic and ecological view of the world. We have shifted from the machine view to a overall view. Okay, it is a shift in human perceptions. Perception means understanding. Okay, it is a shift in human perceptions and revolutionary as that introduced by Copernicus, who taught mankind in the 16th century that the earth and the other planets revolve around the sun. Now here the narrator says that it is a shift, means the shift of the view, the shift of the perception, that we have changed from machine view to a ecological view to a overall view, and this shift in human perception, and this shift is in human understanding. This shift is under human thinking, that is very much revolutionary, which was a revolutionary as that introduced by Copernicus, who told that earth moves around the sun, who taught mankind, Copernicus, who taught mankind Copernicus, who taught mankind in the 16th century that the earth and the other planet revolves around the sun. For the first time in human history, there is a growing worldwide consciousness that the earth itself is a living organism, and for the first time in human history, there is a perception, there is a knowledge that the earth itself is a living organism, because we are a living being, and where we are living on this earth. So living being is living on the living earth. An enormous being of which we are parts, and we are the parts of this living beings. Okay, it has its own metabolic needs. Metabolic needs, actually metabolic means chemical changes controlling growing. Okay, metabolic means chemical changes which help us in growing. Okay, an enormous being of which we are parts, it has its own metabolic needs and vital processes which need to be respected and preserved. And here the narrator says that this is an important part, that the important thing of this planet, that we have to accept, we have to respect, and we have to preserve this planet. The Earth's vital signs reveal a patient in declining health. The Earth's vital sign, and the main symptom reveals that a patient is declining in health. Because when the planet is not feeling well, then how we will feel well? We say that if our single part of our body, suppose our finger or suppose any part of our body get injured, then whole body gets pained. In the same way, when our planet is not feeling well, then the living beings who are present in this planet, how they will feel? They will also feel very much unwell. They are very unwell in thinking that our planet is not well. Okay. Now here the narrator says that our living beings who are present on this planet are ill. They are not feeling well. We have begun to realize our ethical obligation. Now we have started to realizing that the ethical obligations, ethical responsibility to be stewards of the planets and responsible trustees of the legacy to nurture generations. And now we have started thinking our obligations. Now we have started thinking our ethical responsibility, that we are the stewards, that we are the managers. We are the managers of this earth, of this planet, and we have the moral obligations, moral duty to protect this earth. Okay? And we should fulfill our duties. The concept of sustainable development. The word sustainable development, from the word development you have got the idea that there is some progress. Okay, what is sustainable? Sustainable actually means development that does not deprive the future generation of their due for own present needs. Okay, development that does not deprive the future generation. The development which does not degenerate, which does not downfall the future generation for fulfilling the needs of the present generation. Okay, the concept of sustainable development was popularized in 1987 by the World Commission on Environment and Development. This concept, sustainable development, was famous in 1987 by the World Commission on Environment and Development. Okay. In its report, it defined the idea as development that meets the need of the present without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their needs. That is, without stripping. Stripping means laying back. Okay, without stripping the natural world of resources future generation would need. Okay, the concept of sustainable development, which was coined in 1987 by the World Commission on Environment and Development, he had very beautifully explained the concept of sustainable development. He says that sustainable development that meets the need of the present, the development which is fulfilling the present needs without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their needs. Means we should not compromise with our future generations to fulfill the present needs. Means our future generations should be saved. We should not compromise the future generation in order to protect our present generations. That is, without moving back, we should move forward. Okay, we have to see our present also, and we have to see our future also, but we should not compromise with our future. In the zoo of Lusaka, Zambia, there is a cage. In the zoo, there was a zoo at Lusaka. Lusaka is present in Zambia. There is a cage where the notice in that zoo, the zoo of Lusaka, there is a notice on that. In that zoo, whenever any person goes there, then see a notice. No notice is written there. Okay, there is a notice written in that zoo. Whenever we go to the zoo, we always see some instructions, some guidance are always written, and they are always seen by the visitors. In the same way, in the zoo of Lusaka, Zambia, there is a notice written, and that reads in the following words: the world's most dangerous and the world most dangerous animal in that zoo, it is written that this is the most dangerous animals. Okay.